back. It's Uncle Destiny here with you. And it's time to get the reading done for the month of May and see what the ancestors have to say for that. And we're going to be heading into the season of, for some of us, the season of Beltane, which is also considered a fertility time. So let's go ahead and see what the ancestors have to and the spirits have to say about the month of May and all that it holds and offers. All right, so now I've got the spread out, and this is this one holds a bit in it. Now, normally anything that falls off the reading surfaces we take out of the reading, but we have a piece that's half on, half off, so that one's staying in. Now, what we've got here, it kind of reminds me of, think about a trampoline. And you've got that area that is at the base, it stays stable. And then you've got the portion that going up and down. And then you've got the people that are going to be jumping. So here is the structure that holds the trampoline in place. And here is the fabric of the trampoline pushing someone up. And these are the people that are being lifted and bouncing up and down on it. Now for our main bones, this one is going to be social. Not that I should say social. This one is going, I'm going to say it's family. This one is going to be home. And this one is work. So where we get with this one, especially talking about the family one, we have the quartz crystal above it. And it is, again, the reminder of memory, of ideas, of thought, of the factors that we've been through in the past and how it can be then used to inform the present, both good or bad. But the fact that it's here above the family bone indicates that there's going to be some time for reflection, time for searching memories, times for looking at the events of the past and spending some time reassessing them. Below that, we have a number of the support bones. And even more so, we have pelvic bone here, and that, or let's just say the pelvic bone, this is the bone that I've associated with the top of the spinal cord. Now, with the fact that it's sitting here on its side, and you really can't see the pelvic side, but you can see, or the one that makes it look like a pelvis, and you can have the one that looks more like the part of the spine. And the fact that it's got these two little bits off on the side actually kind of reminds me of something with wings. So there's something that's going to be a flight, and there's going to be a flight of ideas here amongst all these support bones that are going on. And they're going to be supporting the sense of family. So remember, family, and this is both family, spirits and guides, shows that there's a lot of energy that's going to be coming into family in the month of May. Now, as I said earlier, that this is about the time when Beltane is, so it's also considered a fertility period. So there's an energy around sparking new life. But again, that's great with the family of blood that you choose, but what about the family of choice? So there's going to be some things that are going to be sparked into existence here, and they need to be balanced with memory. So there's a fertility and energy to the spirits that is being fed into the family sense. And again, family of blood, family of choice, that is affected by memory. So you've got to keep your memory in balance with whatever the divine energy that spirit is feeding into your family area. Now, the fact that we also have the shell in close proximity to it, I'm going to say it's much more part of the family section, it's flipped over. So we've got the outside. So it's about things about the exterior. So things coming in from outside the family, outside your sense of who and what you're working with. So remember the flight of ideas. So there's going to be something that's going to be sparked in the family that's going to have a divine component in it, and it's going to come from outside, but you've got to make sure that the memory and the mind, your mind about what you're working on is based in that ability of understanding who and what is around you. Now, the fact that we've got the next one here just slightly offset, but still in line with it, shows that there's not going to be too much deviation between these two areas. So don't worry so much in that standpoint of what home is going to mean for you. So they're going to be connected, they're going to be moving, they're just going to be slightly out of sync, but not badly out of sync. So let's go ahead and talk about the work ones, which are right here, which are, again, just at the edge of the going on. So what I'm seeing here is that there's support, but there's going to be something going on with a change. There's something about work is going to be going out. So an aspect of it, a task, a particular role around work is going to be changing, and it is on its way out. So it's starting that process. It's not going to complete it all in the month of May, but it is going to start. That something is going to change and start heading out, and it's related to work. So again, it might be a role, it might be a position, it might be an idea, it might be an aspect of your work. It may even be the job itself may be going out away and you're going to be replacing it with something. But something in the work front is going away, but there is also support behind it. And these are rather substantial bones too. So there's something that there's a real meat in the why it's happening. All right, so we've got these little ones over here and then the rib bone here. So what's going on here? These are some new events that are coming up. They're small ones, and they're going to be a cluster of small things that come together to make change. And you're not going to think, it's like, how does this relate to that? How does that relate to that? How does that relate to that? How does that relate to that? All together, they create change. So just be on the conscious that how is that there's some things that are going on that you're going to see interrelated, but they're going to result in change, and they're going to result in some new ways in thinking about support. All right. And last but not least, we have the rib bone. This one is going to be at the edge of the surface, and remember, the rib bones are necessary for us to be able to breathe. So there's an aspect of aspiration and inspiration going on here. So there's an element of inspiration that is coming onto the field. And again, if you actually follow the line of it, it's going to start going into these bones that we have over here. So there's something that's going to come from this clustering of seemingly unrelated things that is going to inspire a new thought, a new action, something that is going to be sustaining you. Now, the fact that it's also near the family ones, it's going to inspire something in the family. So maybe it's the idea to start a family reunion. Maybe it's an idea to start a family business. Maybe it's the idea to help start a new family member along a new path of interest. So many things that we do in life are inspired not just by our own interest, but by the interest that others show in it and how they share that with us. So overall, this is about getting up in the air. This is about getting into the sky. This is not about being solely attached to the earth, even though it's necessary for these that are jumping to have a good solid base to the earth to be able to have that trampoline act. So family is going to be that base that allows you to jump into the air with work, with life. So just make sure that you're doing that from a place of good memory and with real understanding of what's going on, as opposed to a golden view of it. So that's our reading for the month of May. And this is Uncle Destiny on behalf of the ancestors and the spirits and all the forces out there. Ashe.